everybody, my name is Esther Barreto and I'm a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for about 7 years now, and yeah, pretty much for this video I decided to do a story time video. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's just basically hairstylists get on here and share some stories of when they have messed up people's hair. We all have tons of those. We all start somewhere and we're constantly learning from our mistakes. Nobody's perfect. I have so many stories that I'd like to share with you guys. So, let's get right to story number 1. I'm so embarrassed to say these stories, but they're so funny. I had this client of mine and she was a new client, by the way. Let me set the setting so you can imagine it first. So basically, at the time, maybe about 6 years ago or more like 5 years ago, I was working with this hairstylist friend. We worked next to each other. This particular day, I had a new client come in and she pretty much had most of her hair virgin hair. Most of it was grown out and it was virgin. The ends were really blonde, and she sat down and she was like, I really want a burgundy color. And she's pretty much like, just do burgundy, no purple. And so I was starting on her hair, I was applying the color, applying it to the ends, let it process and all that good stuff. And fast forward to when it was time to wash it off, I took her to the sink. I was washing her hair, you know, scrubbing it really good. And once I shampooed it pretty good, I was staring at her ends. And as soon as I saw her ends, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm gonna call my stylist friend. I call her Shadi. I'm like, Shadi, come over here, come over here, come over here. And she's like, what, Shadi? And I'm like, look at this. And she's like, what? She's like, I'm like, it's purple. I'm like, it's purple. And she's like, oh my gosh, Shadi. She's like, what did you use? And I was like, I used 6VV. And pretty much what 6VV is, I was learning what they stand for. I didn't know what it stood for. I just know it was a beautiful color that I've used in the past. And it basically, she's like, Shadi, this stands for 6 violet violet. Pretty much it's purple, purple, purple. Just purple. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I literally put purple on her hair. And she was just like, as long as it's not purple. And I was like, wow, so let me see how it looks when I dry it. So I took her back to the chair and then I was drying her hair and it was literally like the most purplest color I have ever seen. And she was basically like, oh, it's purple. And then I was like, oh my God, you know, let me try it again and let me fix it. And yeah, pretty much I redid her hair and it turned out beautiful after all. It was like the most beautiful burgundy color ever, but I was definitely freaking out. It sucks when you're fresh out of beauty school and you're learning everything, because you get out of there not knowing much or anything at all. They hardly teach you anything. You literally have to get out there and make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. So that one is like one that I remember and I'll never do again. But another one, here's another story. So I was still in beauty school. Yeah, so I was still in beauty school and my mom was my #1 supporter. She was like, you can use my hair. She's like, you can do anything to my hair. I don't care if you mess it up, like it'll grow back and blah blah. But my mom truly means it. There's people that they say, I don't care if you mess up my hair, blah blah, but then they get mad if it happens. But my mom, really, she's a trooper. She really had never done much to her hair, and she was a big fan of red, like my shirt red. So she was like, I really want some bright red peekaboos. So I did some peekaboos on her, I did them all around. So what peekaboos are is just basically highlights or chunk of highlights that are hiding within the hair. So you only see them when you pull your hair forward, then they appear behind the ear, and they look really pretty. I did a lot of peekaboos on her. They were like fire engine red, and they were really pretty. And over time, those colors that are really vibrant, they wash off so fast. They don't even last you that long. Be really good at taking care of it. But basically, every time her hair would wash off, I would add the color at home, and she was doing that for a while, until like after so many layers of red, it starts to darken a little bit. So it was more like it wasn't as vibrant fire red, but it was still a very beautiful red. And she was just like, I don't like it this dark. She's like, I want it as red as you can. Just make it fire red. She's like, I want it brighter. And every time I would do it, she would be like, I want it brighter, 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 as bright as you can do it. And me, I'm like, oh my God, brighter than this? This is like super bright. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll make it brighter. So here I am. Every time I would rebleach her hair a little more, a little more. And finally, when she was just very pushy, that she's just like, you know, make it really bright. So I was like, all right. And I was like, let me grab the strongest developer I could get and put it on her highlights. And I was letting it process, and then I was like, once it was time to like wash them out, I was pulling them out, and literally like every foil I would pull out, her hair was coming with it. I was like, oh my God, I wanted to faint. I was like, what happened? All of them fell off. She was left with literally like this much hair. It was literally like that much hair left. And I was like, no, I fried her hair off. And she was like, it's okay. She's like, they're hiding, you can't even tell. And I was like, Mom, I feel so bad. She's like, I promise I won't do that ever again. And every time, at that time, she was working like at a factory, and she has to put her hair up and then wear a helmet. So every time she would put her hair up, those little pieces were like, doing, they were like sticking out on both sides. And she had to put a crap load of gel and then a lot of bobby pins. And every time I would see her going to work, she had a lot of bobby pins everywhere. And I was like, Mom, that basically took so long to grow out. And she still let me do her hair. I learned from it, and I never damaged her hair ever again. But yeah, that's one of my stories. I have tons more. Let me know if you guys like some stories like this, and I'll gladly share more stories. But yeah, thank you. If you guys like more videos like this, just hit like and subscribe and comment down below, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you.